Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a trend that's really changing how a lot of us think about vacation. If you've always felt like the perfect trip is either a quick weekend jaunt or a full week away, you might want to think again. There's a new sweet spot that people are discovering, and honestly, it might just be the perfect length for your next big trip.
So you've probably heard that viral 6-7 sound making the rounds on social media, right? Well, what's wild is that number is actually pointing to a huge shift happening in the travel world, especially when it comes to cruises. So what's the deal? Why are 6- and 7-night trips suddenly the talk of the town?
For what feels like forever, booking a cruise meant you had pretty much two choices. You either did a quick 3- or 4-day weekend sprint, or you committed to a full 7-day marathon. Now, both of those are great options, but for a lot of people, making that choice always felt like a little bit of a compromise.
It's that classic vacation dilemma, isn't it? A quick getaway is awesome for your schedule and your wallet, but you barely have time to unpack and relax before you're already thinking about packing up again. On the flip side, a full 7-night trip, it's amazing, you really unwind, but it chews up a ton of your precious vacation days, and yeah, it can definitely be a bigger hit to the bank account. It's a tough trade-off.
But what if there was a perfect middle ground? Well, that's where the 6-night cruise comes in. It is quickly becoming the ideal solution. It's long enough to feel like a real escape, but it's short enough to be practical and a lot more affordable. It just seems to hit that absolute sweet spot between time, money, and relaxation.
So what is it about 6 nights that makes it the magic number? Let's actually break down why this specific cruise length is getting so popular with all kinds of different travelers. The appeal really boils down to this perfect formula. First off, you get more destinations on a short trip, so it actually feels like a proper adventure. But at the same time, you're using fewer vacation days and spending less cash than you would for a full week. You even get a couple of those amazing days at sea, just to chill, but not so many that you start getting restless. It's this perfect balance that makes it a fantastic first big cruise for anybody who's new to life on the open water. All right, so the length makes total sense. But where do you actually go on a 6-night cruise? Let's take a look at some of the really popular itineraries that are driving this whole trend.
First up, let's talk about the Western Caribbean. This is hands down the perfect choice for anyone who wants their vacation to be this incredible mix of rich cultural experiences and some heart-pumping adventure.
Just look at the variety you can get here. One day you could be snorkeling and exploring ancient Mayan ruins near Cozumel, and the very next day you could be ziplining through a rainforest canopy over in Roatan, Honduras. It's an itinerary that just crams in so many unique experiences without ever feeling like you're in a rush.
Okay, next is a hugely popular option, and it's often called the first-timer favorite. It's the Bahamas and Caribbean combo. This is the go-to for so many people trying out a 6-night sailing for the very first time, and there's a really good reason for it.
This itinerary is kind of like getting 3 vacations all rolled into one. You get the classic culture of a stop in Nassau, you get the pure, exclusive relaxation of a cruise line's private island, and then you get a totally different vibe with a stop down in Mexico. It's just a massive variety of experiences, all packed super efficiently into just 6 nights.
And honestly, this quote from our source material just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly sums up the appeal of this kind of trip. You're getting this incredible range of experiences all packed into one perfectly paced vacation. What's not to love?
So we know what these cruises look like, we know where they go, but who exactly is booking them? Let's take a peek at the key groups of travelers who are really driving the rise of this 6-night vacation.
And you can see it's a really fascinating mix of people. Families and folks with limited time off, think teachers. They're a huge part of this because the length fits so neatly into a standard work week. Then you've got first-timers and budget-conscious travelers who just love that balance of cost and value. And get this, even loyal, experienced cruisers are hopping on these sailings to kind of fill the gaps between their bigger, longer trips. It's a format with a surprisingly broad appeal.
We've covered the why, the where, and the who. So now let's get to the most important question. Is this the right kind of vacation for you? We're going to wrap this up with a simple checklist to help you figure that out.
So, just take a second and think about what you really want from your time away. Are you looking for that perfect balance between exploring new places and just kicking back and relaxing? That sweet spot between value and time?
Well, if you find yourself nodding your head to these points, then yeah, a 6-night cruise might be your perfect match. If you want a real vacation that doesn't completely drain your PTO bank, that gives you access to some of the newer, cooler ships, and offers that perfect rhythm of adventure and downtime, then this trend is definitely for you. Ultimately, the rise of the 6-night cruise really shows us that the perfect vacation isn't just about where you go. It's about finding that perfect amount of time to truly enjoy it, to maximize every single moment. So the only question left is, where will your perfect vacation take you? Thanks for joining me.